we've known each other for so long. It's crazy. Like
Planet Hollywood, dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't even completely remember when it was that we met, but it most likely was Planet Hollywood because all they were doing all like the cool parties at the time. Like they seemed like they were connecting.
Then I think our paths crossed either at the Toyota Long Beach Grand Prix, either a driving thing, or I did a movie called 8 Seconds with Luke Perry.
But I knew you way before then because
That's what I'm saying.
When I saw you in that, I was like, oh, Steven's in the movie. And like Luke and I talked about it.
Right.
You did, God, I knew you during all the stuff you were doing with Polly and Biodome and like all the stuff. Like,
that minute. Yeah.
I've been a follower.
Hollywood, bro.
I've been a follower of Stephen Baldwin for a long time.
Wow. Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I'm right back
way
at you.
before social media. Like I would follow your car. It was odd. It was awkward, but whatever.
Well, gee whiz,
follow you into the
here
store
first, kids.
You mentioned a lot of people have said that they always had great encounters with you on set, but on the flip side of that, there are a lot of, like you said, dicks in the industry. You had any people unpleasant to work with besides Stephen?
I have, but I don't want to name them by name.
No,
I have to say what has been more influential to me was the people that weren't dicks, that are your heroes.
Right on.
Because they always say, like, don't meet your hero because you'll be disappointed.
Who's your Hollywood hero?
I've met incredible. Bono was one of the nicest people I've ever met in my career.
And you worked with him or met him?
No, he was. Okay. Megan was hosting SNL, and you two performed.
Oh wow!
And he would just come walking into the room. He'd knock on the door, and he just was this incredibly fucking kind, normal individual. And you have a few of those where you step back and you go, okay, that's an example of who Luke was that for me.
Right.
I always say to people, Luke was an anomaly because he was ridiculously cool.
Right.
Ridiculously cool.
He was funny.
Yet never tried to be cool.
Right.
Never cared about what he was wearing, what he was driving, his furniture, his house. I went to his house. He had a house in Hancock Park, and all of the furniture in his house was outdoor furniture.
Right.
All of it.
Luke
the couch.
Perry, I love it.
And he built half of the shit, and you looked at it and you were like, yeah, of course you built this zip line. My kid is not going to play on the zip line with your son. And of course now his son is a wrestler because he went, he like, talk about like tetanus shots. That kid must have lived with metal stuck in spots.
Right.
From stuff that Luke built that he was playing on.
Right. That's hysterical.
But I always say to people like Luke's ability to connect with everyone that was around him. Like when you would spend time with him, you genuinely felt like you were the only person in the room and in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
And he cared most about you and that time.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't care about his phone. He didn't care about what anybody else was saying. He did. And even if it was only 5 minutes, it was the 5 minutes where you walked away and you went, that was like my soul needed that.
You said Bono.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I guess you could say Luke was like one of the most gracious actors you worked with.
Yeah.
But who's like, again, like I'm somebody that we talked to TJ earlier, and TJ said only once did he meet somebody where he went like, oh my God, like he usually doesn't give a shit. Has there ever been that on a set where you got a gig and all of a sudden you just walked in? Of course you talked about Domino.
I had Burt Reynolds played my grandfather.
That's the one I'm looking for.
On Freddie. I did a show with Freddie Prinze Jr. and he played my grandfather. And I remember it was a really cool experience for me because Burt Reynolds, one of the biggest stars on the planet.
Exactly.
And he showed up and we did our table read. And because we'd been doing it, we had sort of a rhythm that the writers knew. And so it got laughs around the table because they knew just in little things we did what exactly we were going to do on the day. Burt had never been there before. And everybody was so starstruck by the fact that Burt Reynolds is sitting at the table.
Right. That
he didn't get the same reactions. And he got really it was really sweet. He got really self-conscious about it and he wanted to quit. He was like, this, I'm not going to do it, but you guys are getting laughs around the table for the table read and I wasn't. And this, and Freddie, who is, I don't know if you have met Freddie or you know him. He's one of the most gracious people that I know. He said to Burt, I remember specifically, he was like, dude, you're Burt Reynolds. Like, do you realize how starstruck everybody is in the room by the fact that you're sitting at the table? Like, we're all here to have fun and support each other and love each other. Like, don't worry about the laughs that
the
we
reaction
got.
in there.
And it ended up being an unbelievable experience because he had so much fun. We just got to be stupid and do dumb stuff. And he was like, he was one of the nicest fucking people. But you know, you hear mixed stories about him because there is, I think people have this expectation of, oh, because he's Burt Reynolds, he's never going to be insecure. Like that's, oh, if he was just acting like a dick, it's because he's a dick. Instead of like, oh no, maybe there was some other stuff going on and he's a human being. And so he was just he felt like a kid when he was on set and he felt like out of place and insecure and was going through all the stuff like anybody else would in a situation like that. If any one of us sat at a table and everybody was reading from something and literally you got no reaction from anybody, everybody else did, you'd feel like something's wrong, like I suck. Something's wrong with me.
Well, it's also interesting what you said too, because there were people around the table that probably were a little nervous about laughing at his jokes.
All of them.
So it's just like you said.
All of them.
Oh my God. How much time do we have? Perfect. Perfect. Can I go
Let's
pee
do it.
and then we're going to talk for 5 more minutes?
No
I'm
peeing.
going to get you out of here.
No. You having to pee, that's a better energy for your podcast. Let's go.
This twisted tail, bopping through the bridge we set sail. Guilty pleasures misunderstood. It's so bad it's good.